You have to be prepared. You have to know it's coming. And the more you do it, the more you practice. And you know what? You're going to fail. You want to know why you're going to fail? Because you're trying. Because you're trying. Want me to give you a guaranteed way to never fail?
Never drive on 204.
No. Well, I can guarantee. You want me to tell you a guaranteed way that you would never fail at anything?
You like that, Gene, huh?
Ready?
Yes.
Don't try. Don't try. Don't try anything and you'll never fail. Don't try to be more mindful of that guy, and guess what? You'll do well. You'll never fail. The only reason we fail at doing these things is because we're trying. We're putting forth the effort. And it's okay if we fail. What's not okay is if we stop trying. Okay? If you fail miserably today, try again tomorrow. If you fail again tomorrow, try again Tuesday. And you try over and over and over until eventually what's going to happen is it's going to click one day. And someone's going to cut you off and you'll be like, oh wow, I didn't even get mad about that. That didn't bother me. This Buddhism stuff must really work. Okay? It's hard. But well worth it, I promise you. Okay? And it works for you too. Okay?
Yeah, it does. That's
Okay.
all for me.
And it works for Charles, and it works for Jean, and it works for Ashley, and it works for Gianna.
Yeah.
Okay? It works because you practice. And that's what Buddhism is. It's a practice. It's a practice. It's how we go about through our day, how we keep our mind focused on what we think is the right thing.
Can I say something?
You can say anything you want to say.
I thank you. If I picture what you just said, any person, that
Mhm.
all those road rage people, I think they are angry because they are desperate to get to work because they only got a little bit of time. They did not leave,
Mhm.
their house. And this means I picture this way, just stop, rewind their lives and go back. They never prepare themselves to leave like 1 hour early because they know the highway is going to be packed. I need to leave early. So therefore, I cannot leave early because I did not prepare this, and it goes on and on and on and on. If you keep rewinding what they got up too late and they couldn't prepare themselves, to schedule themselves. So this practice, what you're teaching, I mean, this is...
It's being mindful.
Right. To organize your whole life way back, and prepare yourself so what you have to do next. This is, you know...
Yeah, because one of the Buddhist teachings,
situation.
one of Buddhist teachings is you are the way you are right now because of what you were
You're right.
in the past.
Wait.
Okay? You want to improve your future? Start by acting today. That way it improves tomorrow. Okay? It's the same thing. If you don't want to have to deal with an irritating person, how do you get rid of an irritating person?
Reframe how you perceive their actions so that it's not irritating to you. It's all a process of, it's an exercise in patience. And the way I see it is not so much of like, okay, I'm going to just be more prepared and I'll leave earlier so then I won't be frustrated. Because the unforeseen will always come up and drive you crazy. It's more, I see Buddhism as more having control over the thoughts that go through your head.
Your mental
so
places.
when a negative thought comes through, you don't let it go through and process, and that affects your body and how you manifest your whole life. You stem it off and reframe it into a positive
You
or
make it like a
learning.
fleeting thought.
Yeah, or you see what's going through your mind and you can control that. Because most of us can't. Like the negative goes on and on and on and you can't stop it.
Right. It's that constant running tape in your mind.
With no silence.
Okay? Yeah, no silence. Okay? That, folks, is what the Buddha can do that I can't. I cannot get my mind to shut up. I can't. I could sit in my shrine room in there and I can meditate for hours at a time and my mind still never shuts up. It doesn't. Okay? She's absolutely right. It is your mental afflictions. Okay? Now, the way you get rid of an irritating person The only reason that person's irritating is because you are irritated. Does that make sense? The only reason they're irritating is because you're irritated. Okay? The only way that you can get rid of an irritated person is not to be irritating to someone else, because the only way you have an irritating person is because at one time you were irritating to someone. That's karma. That's the only way you can have an irritating person. At some point in your life, you were irritating to someone else, and karma has come back and slapped you on the forehead with an irritating person. You get rid of an irritating person by not being irritating back. They can stand in your face, April, and they can scream and yell and everything else. And if you do not respond in kind, right, what are you doing? You're getting rid of that irritating person. Yeah, they're irritating right now, but in the future, you've created a good karma to not have another irritating person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only way to get rid of an irritating person, is not be irritating back. Now, unfortunately, most of us, our common sense is 180 degrees wrong. Okay? Someone hits you, you automatically want to hit them back. Right? That's 180% wrong. The only reason you have someone hitting you is because you hit somebody else in the past. Now, if you remember that, the whole reap what you sow concept, okay, you'll start being more mindful of that person that cuts you off in traffic. Okay? If my teacher said, if you understand the true meaning of karma, what does the life of one termite cost when you're laying on your deathbed in excruciating pain? It's the same thing with an irritating person. Do you want an irritating person? Keep being irritating. And don't find them irritating, and don't be irritated. Does that make sense at all? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I'm just trying to think, how do you, like, if you're at work, in a workplace, for example, and something's going on, and you're, like, stuck in that room, you can't leave, you can't just walk away, you know, like, what to focus, like, on your mind, how to set your mind, so you just tune it out and focus. Because, I mean, physically you're still hearing, you know.
you are
have to
still
be
hearing,
aware.
just like Georgiana said, you are still hearing, but you don't allow it to process. Okay? You still hear that thought, but don't let that thought stick in your mind until eventually it affects your body.
I mean,
Okay.
do you want to say, oh, that's so bad for her, she's talking about this and this, or do you just ignore it and just say, you know, like
a walk away?
do you have compassion?
One thing you
for
can
her, or
do is like take a deep breath, and as she's talking or doing whatever it is that's annoying you, is scanning your body and seeing how you're manifesting that. Like, are you
Body
How
language.
it's affecting you.
Are you is
Body
your heart rate up?
language.
You know, like what is it when you say irritated that physically manifests as irritation? And breathing and becoming aware of how it makes you physically is the first step.
Because they're just negative. They're negative about their life. And
So
they're
are you
negative.
tense? You know,
They are
I don't
so,
know.
that is
And-
so hard.
You
Or
know,
the-
they'll ask one question, it's on and on and on.